Here's my review of The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. I enjoyed this movie, and because it is so fast paced, it is never really boring, and I think that's one of the best things about this movie, especially with Wes Anderson's style, because sometimes I feel like it can be a little bit of style over substance. A great style, but style over substance nonetheless. And because it's only 39 minutes, you speed through this movie, and it is a pretty good movie. I kind of like it. With basically, this whole movie is about Henry Sugar learning about a man who was able to see without eyes and using that to his advantage to cheat at gambling. And it's a very interesting story about like wealth and desire and how maybe that could like kind of just not really get you what you want, which is just a very interesting story. And it's told in a very, it's like a story I feel like has been told tons of time. Oh, money doesn't buy happiness. But the way it's told here is a unique twist on it, especially with Wes Anderson's style. Basically, Henry reads the book about Ahmad and the man who was able to see without eyes. And that's kind of how the movie, that's like the main plot of the movie, and him kind of learning the skill. And it is basically a fully narrated movie, and it is in the production style of a play. And I thought it kind of, and I do think it specifically does kind of fit Wes with a lot of it. It's like staring at the camera, not necessarily fourth wall breaks, but like they kind of are, but kind of aren't. Where it's just kind of like you're breaking the fourth wall, you're acknowledging it, you're saying something meta, but you're not breaking the fourth wall, if that makes sense. And because this is shot in the style of a play, there are a lot of cool scenes like this, like where they kind of almost wheel stuff onto the screen, just like a play, and like kind of over the top, goofy stuff like this, like with this X-ray. I mean, it's stuff like that that I really like about Wes Anderson's style. But it is just a really weird concept, like with Ahmad, him learning like how he knew that there were three fingers being held up, and I feel like you don't really understand how he gets it. Like you kind of like hear that he learns it like from this monk, but like I still don't understand how it's possible. And it is a very interesting. It is still a very interesting kind of story. Like it's such a weird concept, but like it works for this story. So yeah, we see how he learned it through like different cultures and when he went to India, and it was just a real lot of fun to watch. And we see how this affects Henry in the real world, where he's basically he could see through the cards, and it allows him to cheat. It allows him to cheat at gambling and become rich. And like I said, it's just a very interesting movie about greed and wealth, and told through the lens of Wes Anderson. And it kind of makes it even more obvious. But at the same time, it is still a quite a fun movie to watch, and because it's so short, it's never boring, and his style is just so beautiful. It's always like, wow, that's pretty. And like at certain points, like he kind of gets fed up with the money that he has and he just throws it out in the street. And then obviously he's accused of where he got all that money. And then he's investigated by the authorities. Like, where did you get this money? Are you stealing it? And like, I mean, yeah, it technically is stealing because he's cheating, but it is just a very interesting little cute story about like wealth and greed. At least that's how I saw it. And in the end, it's said that like Henry has donated a lot of his money, and he like has like a ton of hospitals and stuff. So he ended up doing some good things with his money, which so it kind of does make you think like you did in this short amount of time, like I said, only like 40 minutes. And I'd say Benedict Cumberbatch, like Henry himself, is only in it. I would maybe say, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes of it. Like you get quite a good character growth with him kind of being a little bit more selfish at the beginning, him kind of learning to grow out of that. And with this movie, you get the play-like style, which is just really fun to look at. You get the straight talking to the camera and acknowledging stuff, but not necessarily a fourth wall break, a classic Wes Anderson style. And you get the witty dialogue, you get the likable characters, and this is just a fun little movie. And like I said, it's only 40 minutes, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's a quick watch. It goes by really fast. Even for such a short movie, it still felt like it went by fast. Like the pacing I thought was pretty good. And yeah, I would overall recommend it. It's an interesting story about gambling and wealth. And like, I guess I would say like choosing that you could always do better. And yeah, I would recommend it. I thought it was really good.